Hello everybody. It's Julie Davison. Sorry I'm a little late popping on. Things are crazy. They're always crazy. We have 4 kids and my second oldest just came home from an archery tournament where she took 8th as an individual middle school girl. So she is really excited to show off her medal, and they just literally walked in the door a couple minutes ago. We have a really awesome team and set of coaches here, and we feel blessed that she can participate in this sport. So I am so excited to share with you some projects today using some new sneak peek stuff. This is episode 2 of What's in the Bag. Have you guys seen this awesome tote? This is the Stampin' Up! Craft and Carry tote, and this is an exclusive tote that is only available when you join as a demonstrator during Sale-a-Bration. So normally we have an awesome deal on the demonstrator starter kit, and normally you get $125 worth of stuff for $99 when you join any time of year. But during Sale-a-Bration you get an extra $50. Okay, that's $175 worth of stuff for $99 plus tax. If you're good at math, that's like the same as placing a $90 order. It costs exactly the same as placing a $90 order to join as a demonstrator, and you can choose $175 worth of stuff. That's like twice as much, literally 50% off everything. So that's pretty incredible. And during Sale-a-Bration, on top of the extra $50, you have the option to add on this amazing bag for only $30 extra. So during Sale-a-Bration, you can join for $129 and get the bag with $175 worth of stuff in it, or you can skip the bag and just do the regular deal for $99. So I have put together a sample starter kit to show you what $175 looks like. But the amazing thing is you can pick whatever you want. So if you like some of these things that I'm showing you, you can order them in your demonstrator starter kit, or you can choose anything that you want. So last time I did this, I used only the things that came in the bag to make the projects. This time, that's not going to happen. I'm going to have to show you some extra things that aren't included in the bag. But what I'm really excited to show you is that this time in the bag, I've included some sneak peek products that only demonstrators and new demonstrators can order right now. So some of the things I'm going to show you are going to be available for customers next week on February 15th, and some of it is not going to be available until March. But if you join as a demonstrator, you can get these things right now, or if you are a demonstrator, you can get these things right now on pre-order. And if you're just joining, you can get these things in your starter kit. So you don't have to join and then spend money. You can choose some of these things inside your starter kit. My camera is way up high. Okay, good. We have some people. Hi, everybody. All right, are you ready to see what's in the bag? I actually made up a little flyer for the sample demonstrator starter kit. I'm going to show you everything on the flyer is in the bag. I'm going to show you what it is, but I have the link in the description of this video. So if you want to follow along, or if you want to keep track of everything that I'm using, you can find the PDF in the description of this video. So the top line is all stuff that is sneak peek. So at the top of the PDF flyer, I indicated which things are only available on which days. So right now it's February 10th, and some of these things demonstrators can only get either in the starter kit or on a demonstrator order until February 14th. Okay, that is Thursday. So you only have a few more days in order to order these things. And these things are things that are coming out in the new Sale-a-Bration, the second release. Okay, so there are 3 new Sale-a-Bration gifts that are going to be available starting February 15th. That's why the pre-order stops on the 14th, okay? So there's 2 new level 1 items, and you can get these free with a $50 purchase starting February 15th. We have this new All Adorned stamp set, this Country Floral embossing folder, which is amazing. And then we have this Painted Season bundle, which includes the distinctive Painted Season stamp set and this gorgeous designer paper. So right now, demonstrators can pre-order these things. That means we can buy them. So instead of placing a $200 order to get these things for free, demonstrators can just purchase it outright. Okay, so the embossing folder, for example, demonstrators right now can buy for $9. Well, on February 15th, it's only available as a celebration gift. So if you want to buy it for $9, you have to do it right now, either as a demonstrator or in your demonstrator starter kit. So that is one of the things that I've put in my bag, my sample starter kit. So let's start with that. We have the Painted Season bundle, which includes the stamp set and the designer paper. This designer paper is 12 by 12, and it comes as a bundle, but I have to tell you, even though I didn't include an extra package in my sample starter kit, demonstrators and new demonstrators in their starter kit can actually purchase multiple packages of the designer paper. In fact, you can get one as the bundle, and then you can get up to 3 additional packages of this paper by purchasing it on a demonstrator order or in a demonstrator starter kit. This paper is designed so that there is something for every season. So we have Christmas or winter, we have summer, spring, and fall. And each of these papers, you get 3 of each pattern, and each one has a backside with a coordinating color and pattern. So they are just so gorgeous and will have you crafting for every season throughout the year. Okay, so that's the 12 by 12 paper, and you can get it as a bundle. If you're not interested in joining as a demonstrator, if you're not already a demonstrator, you'll be able to get this bundle for free with a $100 purchase starting February 15th while supplies last through the end of Sale-a-Bration. Okay, so don't worry, you can still get this starting February 15th. You can purchase it in the starter kit or on a demonstrator order before then. Okay, so we've got this, and the other Sale-a-Bration item is the Country Floral embossing folder. Oh my gosh, this is one of those detailed like texture impressions. Okay, so it's extra thick and you get this really amazing detail. I'm going to show you when we make a project with that. The other thing that's going on right now is demonstrators can pre-order some exclusive products that are only going to be available in March. This is called Sale-a-Bration Coordination, and there is a handful of new products that coordinate with current Sale-a-Bration things. So the big feature in our Sale-a-Bration Coordination is that we have framelits. So we've got framelits that match the Lasting Lily stamp set. We've got framelits that match the Hey Cupcake stamp set. We've got framelits that match the So Hoppy Together Frog stamp set. And we've got framelits for seasons that go with the new Painted Season stamp set. The story label punch goes with the Part of My Story stamp set, but is fantastic for any use. And then we've got this More Than Words stamp set with greetings for all different occasions. These products in the Sale-a-Bration Coordination will be available for sale to customers starting March 1st. However, demonstrators can purchase these right now during the demonstrator pre-order until February 28th. And if you join as a new demonstrator during Sale-a-Bration, you can get these things in your starter kit. How amazing is that? So in my sample starter kit here, we have the Painted Season bundle, we have the Country Floral embossing folder, and then I also chose the 4 season framelit dies, the More Than Words stamp sets, and the story label punch. I think this might be my new favorite punch. I just love the fun shape of this label. All right, in addition to the Sale-a-Bration Coordination items that I'm pre-ordering and also the Sale-a-Bration second release items that I'm pre-ordering in the starter kit, I've included some other things that we're going to need to make the projects I'm going to show you today. And those items include a package of Whisper White cardstock, a package of Subtles assorted cardstock. Did you guys know you can get assortments by color family? Each assortment includes 2 sheets of each color for a total of 20 sheets for just one price. So this is the Subtles. You can also get the assortment by color family for Brights, Regals, what's the other one? Neutrals, and each of the new in color families. So 2 sheets of each color. I included the subtle assortment here in this sample starter kit. And then I have, what else did I include in here? Oh my goodness, stamping blends. So I included some subtle color stamping blends. We have Pool Party, Petal Pink, Calypso Coral. I included the duo pack, so you get both the light and the dark of those colors. And then I included just the light markers of Daffodil Delight and Old Olive. And once again, this is just a sample starter kit, so if you already have these Stampin' blends, you could put something else in your starter kit. You can put whatever you want in your starter kit. In fact, you can choose $175 worth of stuff of your choice. So I don't have to tell you, you can pick out whatever you want. All right, so all the Stampin' Blends, then I just added a few more things to get to 175. One of those things is the 1/8 inch handheld circle punch. I included this, and I'm going to show you something really cool that I did with the story label punch. This punch is being discontinued though, so I have to tell you that. Stampin' Up! Heard from the manufacturer and they can't make it anymore, and so it's low inventory, and when supplies run out, this punch will not be available any longer. So you can choose that in your starter kit right now, or you can choose something else. And then the other thing I included was the Memento Black ink pad, and I love this. This is my favorite black ink pad because it's gentle with the photopolymer stamps. It doesn't stain or get sticky like the StazOn does, and it's also the ink pad that you want to use with the Stampin' Blends. So since I included some Stampin' Blends in my sample starter kit, I thought I'd also throw in the Memento Black ink pad. All right, I'm going to show you this one last time before I move it out of the way. This is the Craft and Carry Tote, and the only way that you can get this is when you join as a demonstrator during Sale-a-Bration. So this is just $30 extra on your starter kit. It's such an amazing bag. In fact, I paid $50 for it when I was able to pre-purchase it earlier this winter. It has adjustable dividers, so you can have this be all one space, or you can have it be two separate spaces, and it's got tons of pockets. So I was able to put all of this stuff in there, plus room for so much more. In fact, the middle space here was designed specifically so that it would hold our Stampin' trimmer. This is such an amazing little craft tote. You're going to want to have it to stick all your craft supplies in it as you are going to crops and parties and taking your crafting stuff on the go. Look at all those pockets. All right, so Craft and Carry Tote. Your only chance to get it is during Sale-a-Bration when you join. So don't miss out on this tote. Stampin' Up! Gave us some numbers, and of all the people who've joined Sale-a-Bration so far, 60% have chosen to add on the bag. So what an amazing, amazing choice. Okay, I'm gonna move the bag aside, and we're going to move the camera down a little bit so you can get a closer look at the projects that we're gonna make using all of these goodies. So if you're just jumping on, all these things were the stuff that I put in my sample starter kit, and you can download this flyer. The link is right there in the video description showing you all the things that I chose. So I think this worked out to be $174.75 or something like that. So that's one important thing to know when you're picking out your demonstrator starter kit. You can't go over 175. So it's 175 or under, and you can pick whatever you want. So you can pick out the same things that I did, or you can pick something different. Okay, hold on now. I'm going to lower the camera, so it might be a little shaky, but hopefully not terrible. All right, here we go. We're gonna slide down. Oh, there we go. Okay, sorry for the shaking too. All right, now you'll be able to see a little up close. Oh no, I'm finally seeing comments. I hope that, can you guys all hear me okay? I see that Christina could not hear okay, but I don't see anybody else, so hopefully everybody else is able to hear me. Okay, let me move some of these out of the way. And the projects that I'm going to show you today are projects that I designed for our demonstrator meeting on Friday. So I got to be the one to design the projects, and I wanted to use all of this new stuff so that demonstrators on our team could have samples using all these new Sale-a-Bration second release pre-orders and the new Sale-a-Bration coordination stuff. Okay, hopefully this isn't going to be too bright. So let's dig in. The first project, let me get my little placemat here. All right, I got a little water on it. Oops. But you hopefully can see that okay. All right, here we go. The first project uses the Sweet Treat cups, and I forgot to bring my catalog. Oh gosh. This Sweet Treat cup, it comes in a package of 10, and these are featured in the Occasions catalog on the same page as all the candy, the Sweetest Things suite. So all the lollipops and the candy jars and all of that, it's on the same page as that. But I chose to make it up using, excuse me, using products from the Painted Season stamp set, and then of course the designer paper. I just realized that I'm gonna need to grab a Sweet Treat cup to show you. Hold on. Sorry about that. It wouldn't be a video with me if I didn't have to run and get something, right? Okay, I actually also grabbed the catalog so I can show you. So here is the sweet, and the sweet treat cups are down here in the corner. So that is what I used for this project. And they come in a box like this, and it includes 10. So I'm going to pull one out to show you. Okay, so for this project, I sacrificed one of the cups, okay? I pulled it apart so that I could trace it and create a template. So I traced it onto a piece of white cardboard from some of the designer paper, and then in addition to that, I added on just like a 1/2 inch there at the end so that the paper could wrap around. Okay, so that's how I got the template for the paper. And I have a piece here of that painted season paper. So this is 3 inches by 12 inches, and I'm just going to take the template on the back and trace around it. Okay, make sure I've got room here. Just using a pencil, and by doing it on the back side it won't show. So this was a great way for people to be able to fit their paper around their project. Okay, then I'm going to take a pair of scissors and cut it out. Last night, I guess it wasn't last night because it was Friday night, Carla demonstrated a project using the Flowering Desert stamp set. She created a really fun kind of easel. That's one of the things I love about our demonstrator meetings, is kind of getting some new ideas for techniques and projects. And even if you're not local to where I live in Central Illinois, and if you can't attend the meetings in person, all of our meetings are videotaped so you can watch later on. So it doesn't matter if you live nearby or far away, you'll still have access to the content that we have at our videos. Okay, at our meetings. All right, so the easiest way I found to put the paper on, instead of putting adhesive all the way down, I just put some adhesive on both ends of the paper. Okay, so I've got I'm using tear and tape, which is really good for 3D projects like this because it sticks really well. Okay, so we're going to put you're going to take one end and stick it down onto the cup, and then you can wrap the rest of it around, and I kind of tucked it in underneath that little lip as I went. Okay, so that's why if you put adhesive all over it, then you're really going to have a problem getting it to tuck in very well. Okay, so all the way around. I do have a little bit of extra paper here, so you can just cut that with your scissors. Okay, so that is the base of the cup. Really, really easy once you have the template to be able to layer that on the cup, and it sticks pretty well onto itself. It's not going to come off. And then for the top, oh, I don't think I brought it with me, but you can see here I used the stitch circle framelits to cut another pattern from the painted season paper to cover the lid. And then the stamp set images, let me get those out. I'm using Call Me Clover, Lemon Lime Twist, and Pool Party, and I took all these colors from the paper. Just like all of our designer papers, on the back of the package, it tells you the names of the colors that coordinate with the paper. So this is really important to keep the back piece with your designer paper because it'll tell you what colors. So if you get paper and then you put it away for a while, you can always look at the back of the package. You don't need your catalog to figure out what colors you need. Okay, so I've got some stamps here on blocks already, and as you know, if you've stamped with Stampin' Up! Before, the stamps, whether they're rubber or photopolymer, you'll need clear blocks to put them on. So these are all still mounted from the meeting that we had, and we have the words here as well. Okay, so I'm using just a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and I'm going to stamp each of these, and then I'll use the framelits to die cut them with the Big Shot. Okay, so this is the flower, and this is one of the new distinctive stamp sets. Look at that amazing detail. it's such a light color, it's hard to tell on this stamp, but this stamp set is just so gorgeous stamped. Like the detail really shines through and shows with the rubber stamp. So amazing. And we're gonna do the leaves with Call Me Clover. So fun. Okay, and then we're also going to use this piece to stamp the words. And this sentiment comes from that More Than Words stamp set. It says, today calls for something sweet. And I thought it was appropriate since you could put some sweet treats in this little cup. But it has like inside verses or a second part of it. So you can use today calls for something sweet and then with extra sprinkles on top. Or I love this one. Today calls for something sweet because adulting is hard. Isn't it? Sometimes I think I wish I could just be a kid again because I'm tired. I'm tired of being the grown-up. Okay, so we've got today calls for something sweet, and this fits really nicely into the new story label punch. So I'm gonna punch this out. Today calls for something sweet. And look at that shape, isn't that fun? And then I'm going to use the pool party to add one more little leaf there in the coordinating colors. Okay, I'm not gonna run the big shot and show you, but I wanna take out these framelits and show you. You've got one that matches the succulent, and you've got one, in fact, you've got two that match the leaves. So if you are wanting to do 2 leaves at the same time, then you'll be able to die cut them both at the same time. There is also 2 for the little fern image, and then 1, 2, 3 for the smaller leaf that I put on here. So I love that Stampin' Up! Is doing multiple framelits like that so that you can die cut more than one. Now again, if you're just joining us, this 4-season framelit set is part of the Sale-a-Bration coordination. Here's my flyer. Part of the Sale-a-Bration coordination, same with the story label punch, and same with the More Than Words stamp set. These items are available right now for demonstrator pre-order. You can get them in your demonstrator starter kit if you join, or if you're just a customer, you have to wait until March. And all of these things will be available while supplies last, beginning March 1st. Okay, so I'm not gonna show you that with the big shot and get it all out, but you get the idea. You're gonna die cut them, and then you're gonna layer them here on the tag, which I just attached with a Stampin' Dimensional. This gorgeous ribbon is the Pool Party Shimmer ribbon. I didn't bring an extra piece out here with me, but this is in the annual catalog, and it's really pretty. It's just got a little shimmer to it, and I wanted to give you a tip. I really was having a hard time with this round container, and so when you tie your bow, if you just put a little bit, like I use tear and tape, you can just use a little piece of tape to hold that on the bottom, and then it won't be slipping around. So there is the cute little sweet treat cup using the new Painted Season stamp set. Okay, love this little project. Tell me, I would love to know, do you guys like to, do you craft when you make stuff? Do you do 3D projects, or do you mostly do cards? I know that I kind of get into like a little rut where I mostly make cards, but I like to do some 3D things as well. And I'm always curious to know what you guys are crafting at home. So leave me a comment, let me know. Do you make 3D projects like this, or are you mostly a card maker, or do you scrapbook? What kind of things do you use your Stampin' Up! Products for? All right, so we've got the Painted Season bundle that comes with the paper, and then the stamp set, and then the dies will be available separately. And we used the More Than Words stamp set, but we're going to use this again on the next project. So let me put these aside. And our next project is a really clean and simple card. In fact, if you saw this morning, I posted the this or that cards, then you've seen this project already. I wanted to show a project, and I'm not sure where I think I'm missing my sample. It must be in the other room. Well, I'll show you. I'll make it and I'll show you what it looks like. I was actually inspired to make this project by the flyer, that Sale-a-Bration coordination flyer. This project right here really inspired me. I just liked the panels of designer paper and the birthday wishes, the way that was stamped and the candle on top. So I I found my inspiration from the flyer, and that is what I'm going to copy. So I've got some pieces here that are pre-cut. I liked the Poppy Parade better, although the first card that I made was with the petal pink, which I apparently also do not have. Oh, here they are. Okay. They were just right behind me. These were the two cards that I posted. The this or that. So the first one I made was with the petal pink, and I really liked that. I thought it was very soft for spring. But then I was creating another project with the same color, and so I switched to Poppy Parade. I really, really love the way the designer paper pops on the Poppy Parade. So some people were saying it depends on who you're sending it to or the season, and I totally agree with that. So I think both cards work really well. And then the other thing I was trying to decide on was the doily. The first time I made it, like I said, I copied it right from that flyer, and it didn't use the doily, and so that's how I made it. But then I was using the doily on another project, and I thought, oh, I wonder if I just kind of put it behind there. So I think it could go either way, with or without the doily. And if you haven't already commented on my picture, you can let me know, which one do you like better? Do you like the petal pink cardstock base, or do you like the Poppy Parade cardstock base? And then what do you think about the doily? Do you like it with or without the doily? Well, I'm going to show you the project here, and this is a really fun stamp. Well, it's a combination actually of 3 stamps. This is part of that More Than Words stamp set, and again, this is in the Sale-a-Bration coordination, so customers can get this starting March 1st, and demonstrators can pre-order right now. So we have 3 different stamps here. There's the Wishes, then there's this sort of shadow that goes at the bottom of Wishes, and then the birthday, which goes on top. So I pulled 3 different colors from the designer paper. Okay, so I chose to use Poppy Parade, and then petal pink and grapefruit grove. So you can see where those colors came from. Such gorgeous, like spring, very summery colors. So we're going to start with the petal pink, and we're going to stamp the Wishes on the bottom of the Whisper White cardstock. This Whisper White cardstock is 1 and, oh gosh, I think it's 1 1/4, 1.5. 1.5. It's 1.5 inches by 3.5 inches. So if you're making this card at home, 1.5 inches by 3.5 inches, and you're going to start with that bottom layer of the Wishes. Okay, so you're going to do this in the lightest color, whether that's petal pink, or if you're doing a different color set, that's going to be the bottom color. And then the next darkest color is going to be that sort of shadow that's going to go on the Wishes. And I love the photopolymer stamps because you can see through the stamp to line it up, but I can't talk and line it up at the same time. So I'm going to get in here. Oh, you get to see the top of my head. What do you think of all my grays? All right. Oh, I didn't even do that great of a job lining it up. I'm going to try it again. That's what I like too about our Whisper White cardstock. It's so nice and thick that it doesn't bleed through too much. You can stamp it on the other side. If you don't like the way it turns out, you can try again. All right, I'm taking it off camera this time. You don't get to see the top of my head. Maybe I can line it up better. Okay. Ta-da! Hey, that was pretty good. All right, so we've got the shadow part of our Wishes. Set those aside. And then the birthday is what's going to go on top. And we've got Poppy Parade. I noticed that with colors like bright red, bright pink, the rich raspberry, sometimes they do stain the photopolymer stamps just because they're so potent in their color. So again, I gotta get down here. It's so hard to stamp away from my body. Okay, pretty good. And I think because it's a lighter color, it's okay if it overlaps a little bit. So we've got the birthday Wishes, and this is fun here because it's got the birthday Wishes, but then it has Easter, Christmas, New Year's. So you can have all kinds of wishes, not just birthday wishes. All right, so we've got this piece done. Then we have our designer paper, and there are 2 pieces here. This one is 3.5 inches by 2 1/4 inch. That's going to go at the top, and then this is 1 inch by 3.5 inches. So we're going to use our designer paper, or our snail, to adhere our designer paper down. There's my boo-boo. Boop-boops. And I'm gonna go right at the top, and I have about like a ½ inch or so on either side, and I'm just gonna eyeball like an 1/8 of an inch or so in between the layers, and then the designer paper at the bottom. You know what, I just glued that down without thinking about the doily, so I guess this one I'll leave the doily off, but this is what it looks like with the doily on. So which one do you guys like? Let's see, cards mostly. Oh, I don't think anybody answered me. I'm trying to scroll back up through the comments. All right, well, if you haven't answered me yet, I don't see any answers. Tell me which one do you like better. Do you like better with the doily, without the doily? I'm gonna go ahead and add, these are the candle embellishments. This comes from the annual catalog, and there are silver and gold candles in here, and they're so cute because they're little, and it's self-adhesive, so it has like a little paper to pull back, and then it sticks right to your project. So that's gonna go over my eye like that. Okay, with the doily, without. All right, here we go. Margot says with, Lisa says with, Bonnie says with. It looks like you guys are liking the doily. I'm kind of a clean and simple gal, so like I see it both ways. Like I kind of like it just clean and simple without the doily, but I think it's kind of fun. It adds a little something. So let me show you some other samples. Michelle, you like them both, with the doily and Poppy Parade. Yeah, so here again was the original card I did in the petal pink. So I think I do like the Poppy Parade. Like I think it pops a lot more. Let me show you some other samples. So I decided, because the designer paper pack includes paper for all seasons, I thought I would do one for every season. So here's one with the succulent paper, and I used the same sentiment, the Easter wishes, and I used just half a doily on this one. So I thought the paper was kind of busy. I didn't want to do the full one, and then I stamped it over to the side a little bit, not a lot, but enough that I felt like I needed something over here. So I just added a little bit of the Whisper White Baker's Twine. And then I did one with the Christmas paper, and the Christmas paper, I thought it was a little bit busy. So instead of doing the paper, you know, the design on the top and the bottom, I switched it up and used the back side of the fall paper with the red pattern to do the bottom. And then check out this detail. This stamp set is just so amazing with the photorealistic stamps. So this is the pine cone from the Painted Season stamp set, and I used the matching framelits to cut it out. So I just did a little bit on the side, and then kind of the same idea here with the fall paper. And this card base is Mango Melody. Would you believe that? I never would have thought to use Mango Melody for the for fall, like for an autumn card, but it was one of the colors listed on the back of the designer paper package, so I thought I would give it a try, and I really like the way that it pulls in that color from the designer paper. So we've got our 3 panels there, and then I added the little ferns. So lots of different ways, and you know me, I love a good card layout, and then I do it. Like I just do it with different stamp sets and different colors and different papers. So this is a really easy card layout. Whether you get this exact stuff or not, you can easily remake this card with the 3 different panels. So again, if you're writing down the measurements, the top panel is 2 1/4 inches by 3 1/2 inches. And then the Whisper White cardstock with the greeting is 3 1/2 inches by 1 1/2 inch. And then the last bit of designer paper is 1 inch by 3 1/2 inches. And this is just a standard card base, which is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. I like the top open just because it photographs better, but you could also just do a standard side opening card. But there's all my designer paper panel cards, and this is all the Painted Season designer paper. So this is going to be so gorgeous. If you're just joining us, this is going to be a bundle. The designer paper and the stamp set is a bundle that you can get during Sale-a-Bration starting February 15th with a $100 order. However, demonstrators can pre-order the bundle with the paper and the stamp set right now for $29. So I was kind of like, I'd rather just buy it for $29 now instead of spending $100 to get it later. So you can get this in your demonstrator starter kit right now, or if you're already a demonstrator, you can pre-order this right now until February 14th. Okay, that's the last day to pre-order and buy it. After that, even demonstrators, we won't be able to buy it anymore. It will only be available as a celebration gift. And the paper, as I said, you can get extra packages, up to 3 extra packages of the paper by itself. So don't miss out on this painted season. Painted season goodness. It's just awesome. Okay, my next project uses the embossing folder. Okay, so this is one of the other new celebration gift items, and this is something that's going to be available as a level 1 gift. So when you order $50 or more, you'll be able to choose. Can you see it? Oh my gosh, it's so amazing. This is it's called Country Floral, and when you emboss it, it has just that deep texture. Look at this. Claire was helping me get ready for the team meeting, and so she embossed all these pieces for me, and she was like, is it supposed to be like that? Is it supposed to be so bumpy? And yes, it is. Isn't it gorgeous? Okay, so we are going to use the Stampin' Blend. So if you remember at the beginning of the video, I talked about my sample starter kit, and I included a selection of Stampin' Blends. And if you're just joining us, the flyer for my sample starter kit, it's a PDF in the link of this video. So you can download it and you can see. I got Calypso Coral, Petal Pink, Pool Party, the Light Old Olive, and the Light Daffodil Delight. So those are the colors that I'm going to use to color on the embossing folder. So I just embossed this on Whisper White, and then I'm going to use the Stampin' Blends to color the flowers and the leaves that are embossed. So you could use regular markers for this as well, but the thing I like about the alcohol markers, the Stampin' Blends, is that the color just kind of naturally spreads on its own. So I don't have to worry about getting it like in every little crease and nook and cranny, because it continues to spread after I color it. So I'm going to color. I mostly use the light colors. In fact, at the team meeting, I only brought the light colors, but you could add some detail with the dark, you know, and just kind of really make all those layers really pop. Okay, so I've used the Petal Pink for the big rose. I used the Pool Party for the this big dahlia flower. It may not be a dahlia. You know what? I have a black thumb. Okay, I don't really know my flowers very well, but it looks like a dahlia to me, kind of. Anybody know what kind of a flower is this? Can you see it very well? Christina says, what do you keep your Stampin' Blends stored in? So I posted a picture of my messy desk on Friday, and you could kind of see my Stampin' Blends storage in that picture. I don't have it with me. It's in my stamp room, which is just across the way. But it's kind of this like canvas case, and unfortunately it only holds 24 markers. So when the Stampin' Blends first came out, there were only 12 colors, and that worked perfectly. It held all my Stampin' Blends, but of course we've come out with just a ton more new colors since then, and they don't fit in my case. So I need to come up with a better way to store them. So I'm still kind of on the hunt for that storage solution. If you guys are watching and you have a special way that you store your Stampin' Blends, please leave a comment. I'm sure Christina would love to know what you guys are using. And then we'll add a little detail in the center, bringing that color out a little bit. Okay, that was Pool Party. Then we're gonna do the leaves in Old Olive. Now what I really wanted was like a Pear Pizzazz, because I was trying to keep with the subtles, but I don't know, do they make Pear Pizzazz? I don't know that they do. I think it's Soft Sea Foam is the light green that we have, but I decided that the light Old Olive was pretty close to Pear Pizzazz. Like, it's a little bit darker, but that's what I like about having the light and the dark available in the markers, because it's great for when you want to blend, but it also kind of gives you some other options for lighter colors or darker colors, you know, like the light rich raspberry is kind of a pretty light purple. It's not really super dark. I feel like I'm being so messy with my coloring, but you guys get the picture. I think the Stampin' blends are really easy to color with. A little green up here, a little green on the side. All right, our last flower is going to be Calypso Coral. And was that supposed to be Calypso Coral? Yeah, I'm going to make it Calypso Coral. There's a little center in this flower, so I'm going to save my Daffodil Delight for that. And I'm just going to get kind of going like real quick. Like I said, the great thing about the Stampin' blends is that it continues to kind of bleed on the paper, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Like, it's going to continue to kind of soak in as you go. So I'm just kind of getting the top of the flower and letting the color soak down around the edges. So just the part that's raised is really what I'm working with. Oh, almost done. Okay, now I'm going to go back with the Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to add the center of the flower. Just makes it pop there. So the embossing folder does a full-size card front, and you could spend, you know, your time embossing or coloring the entire piece, but I like just having a piece like this that's just a little taste of the embossing folder. So if I remember correctly, this piece of cardstock is 2.5 inches by 4 inches. So you can get 8 pieces to a cardstock. All right, let me get out the rest of my card pieces. I thought I had a half doily, but I guess not. Okay, so I'm using the doilies again here, and for this one I'm going to cut it in half. This is just to save doilies, because half of it's going to be covered up, so I don't need to use a whole doily. I can save it for 2 cards. So I've got a piece of petal pink cardstock here. This is 2 3/4 inches by 4 1/4, so it's going to go across the card like this. And then I'm going to use the snail adhesive to glue this down over the top like that. I'm going to kind of burnish it here. All right, now I've got a piece of Pool Party, and this is going to be for the label. Okay, so I decided I wanted to use the story label punch, but instead of covering up so much of it, I am going to alter the story label punch by cutting. Okay, so I'm just cutting this round part off. I'm using my nice big scissors because it has a long blade. Okay, you can see here how it changes the shape and makes it skinny. So we're just going to cut off that rounded part. I'm just going corner to corner, and it's like you've got a whole another shape there. Let me see if I can do a full one next to it. Okay, so it's like 2 punches in one. Isn't that cool? Okay, so I've got my shape cut down a little bit, and then this is where I'm using that 1/8 inch circle punch, and I'm going to punch a hole on both ends of the label like that. And then for the stamp, I chose one from the Sale-a-Bration stamp set, part of my story. So this is the stamp set that the story label punch was sort of meant to coordinate with. You can see, look at how nicely it's going to fit. Trying to get my cardstock. Look how nicely it's going to fit these words. They knew that they were going to have this punch, and so they designed every single one of those greetings to go inside of it. So awesome, awesome, awesome. So I'm going to use, this one says, the world needs more people like you. And I'm going to stamp that inside the label. You can use black. Sometimes I like to use basic gray instead of black, just because it's a little bit more, I mean, it's not a soft color, but it's softer than black. So I've stamped my greeting on there. And then the last thing I'm going to do before I assemble the card is use a piece of the Whisper White twine to tie it onto the card. So I'm going to pull the string, and this one I posted a sneak peek yesterday too, so you may have already seen this card that I posted here on my Facebook page. So I've got the twine kind of behind the label, and then I'm going to take the twine and wrap it around the petal pink cardstock and tie a bow. Oops. So hard to talk and tie at the same time. What pressure. Oh my goodness, this is messy. Okay, close enough. Let's cut off some of that extra. And then you can rotate it and pull that to where you want it. Once you have the tag where you want it to go, you can kind of, flip it down and put a dimensional on it, and then it'll hold in place where you need it to be. Okay, so then we're going to attach this to the card. Because there's so many layers, I'm actually just going to use some of the tear and tape. I used to use the fast fuse for this, but since we don't have that anymore, the tear and tape is a nice alternative because it's a nice strong adhesive. So for all these layers, like I really don't want this to come up. Like, I want my card to stay put. So I'm going to use a little bit of tear and tape. I went over the edges, so I'm just going to fold it back, okay, and then this is going to go on my card. So the thing about tear and tape, it is sticky, so be sure when you put it down that it's where you want it to be. Down a little bit. All right, there's my last card. Isn't that pretty? That floral, country floral embossing folder is amazing. So this is going to be available as a level 1 celebration gift starting February 15th. You can get it right now though if you're a demonstrator. It's just $9. So you don't have to wait and place a $50 order. You can buy it right now for $9. To my knowledge, this is not going to carry over to the annual catalog. So make sure that you get it while you can during celebration, or if you're a demonstrator or in your demonstrator starter kit, you can get it right now. So let me show you those projects again that we made using all the new stuff. We made, let's see, we meant to make it with the doily. So we've got all sorts of stuff using that Painted Season designer paper, using the Painted Season stamp set, using the More Than Words stamp set. We used it for the birthday card, and over here in the Something Sweet, we used the Country Floral embossing folder. We used the Painted Season framelits to die cut those flowers, and those are available through the Sale-a-Bration coordination. So here is the flyer. Again, this is just my sample starter kit. So this was $175, I think maybe $1/4 less. But you can choose whatever you want. You can choose $175 in product for only $99 plus tax during celebration. That is the same cost as a $90 order. And then if you want, you can add on the Stampin' Up! Craft and Carry Tote. This is only available for demonstrators when they join during celebration. So what an amazing tote and amazing product. So again, a lot of these things, and I listed it at the top of the flyer. This is the PDF of this sheet is in the description of the video, but some of these things are only available until the 14th to be able to order, whether it's in the starter kit or on a demonstrator order. The bundle, the Painted Season bundle, the Country Floral Dynamic Impressions embossing folder. You can only order those in the starter kit or in a demonstrator order between now and February 14th. Okay, that's Thursday. That's the last day to get those. Otherwise, it's going to have to be a freebie. You're going to have to earn it during celebration. And then the other items, the 4-season framelit dies, the More Than Words photopolymer stamp set, the story label punch, you can get those in a demonstrator starter kit or in a demonstrator order until February 28th. And then they'll be available to everybody starting in March. So if you're eyeballing those things and you want to wait until March, that's totally fine. They will be while supplies last. So if you do wait until March, make sure that you order early so that you don't miss out on those awesome things. But you can choose whatever you want. So if you have any questions about joining as a demonstrator, joining my team, you can leave a comment, you can send me a message, you can call me on the phone. I'm happy to talk and answer questions. I have a team of over 100 demonstrators all around the United States. I live here in Central Illinois, but I have team members who live in every corner, from Florida to Washington, Alaska. Yes, that's right. Kathy's in Alaska. I had one in Hawaii for a while, but I don't think there's anybody on our team in Hawaii right now. But we are literally all over the United States. And even though we live far apart, we still can connect on Facebook. We have an awesome group of demonstrators, a community, a family of team members, and it's a great way to connect here on Facebook. But as I mentioned too, we also videotape our local meetings, and those are available to view, so you don't have to worry about training or feeling like you're missing out, because we have all these things available to everybody on our team. So let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to chat and answer your questions. I've already had 4 people join directly under me, and we've had 8 or 9 people all together on our team that have joined during January. So I'm so excited that our team is growing, and I would look forward to having you join us as well. Hope you enjoyed the projects too that I shared with you, and leave me a comment. Let me know which one's your favorite. I always ask that when I'm done with Stamp Club. I always ask, what's your favorite project? So let me know, of these 3 projects, which one did you enjoy watching today? And this will help me decide what to show you on my next video. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic weekend and staying warm on this cold February day. I will see you very soon for more Stampin' projects. Take care. Bye.